So I just cut down this Albizia tree, which in Hawaii here is like one of the most hated trees on the island. Because these trees grow up to like 200, even more than that, probably feet tall. And the branches fall on people and kills them, or falls across the road. You know, people really hate this tree, but in a permaculture sense, like this tree is really important. It's a nitrogen fixer, and look at all this mulch that we're gonna have for our orchard now. It's gonna build our soil, and all the plants around it. See, there's a banana right there. It's really gonna benefit from us cutting this down, because all the nitrogen that's in the root system of this tree is gonna be released into the soil. And we have avocado over there, we have banana, we have some blueberries, a couple other things. So this tree was growing so fast too. Like, you gotta cut them down when they're this size, otherwise like they'll get so big that you'll need to hire somebody. So finally got this one cut. It's been growing since we bought the place, and it's been 2 years. It grew like 10 feet in 2 years. So I'm glad we got this finally cut down. I'm gonna chop it up and we're gonna mulch it to all the plants. This tree actually grows really fast, and even if you cut it like this, it'll still grow. So we're gonna keep the stump, and there's gonna be branches that are gonna be growing out of the stump. And those can also be used for mulch and to fix more nitrogen into the soil. That looks like some good mulch.
So pretty.
A blessing in disguise. Albizia.
This is a big way to chop and drop. Michael, why are Albizia so problematic in Hawaii?
Because they fall on people? Is that what?
I'll answer this one. So the Albizia tree grows really fast and very readily here in Hawaii. So that's why it's become pretty problematic, because it grows so fast. The limbs are not very strong and like hard wood. So the wood is soft and they get really tall, and they don't have like really strong root systems. So they tend to just fall everywhere. Like the whole trees fall, and a lot of the branches always fall like after storms, and they can destroy property and become a nuisance and a safety hazard. So we were fortunate enough to not have many Albizias on this property, at least big ones. The only big ones are really just on the back acre of the property, and there's only like maybe 4 or 5 of them, and we are taking care of those. But this one wasn't that big when we got here, but after a year it grew pretty fast, so it was time to take it down. And throughout the whole property we do have some little Albizia sprouting up, and we're gonna let those grow to like maybe our height, and then just chop and drop them for mulch and for nitrogen, especially because most of them tend to be growing around the trees that we planted, so that's really good. And we definitely won't let them grow.
As long as you stay on top of them.
Yeah, as long as you stay on top of them, we won't let them grow to like giants, because that's when they become a problem.
I said some of the lots here in Hawaii are covered in Albizias. So it could possibly be a good idea to buy one of those properties if you're planning on getting it ripped anyway. That way the soil would be much more fertile, because all the nitrogen that these trees create, and also all the biomass that they create through wood and mulch.
Yeah, and they probably decompose pretty fast too, right?
Yeah.
Since the wood is not so hard.
They really do.
Yeah, I'm not wearing my gardening outfit. Yeah. So over here is an example of a small Albizia. This was definitely like this tall back in like the winter, and now in autumn it's grown to this big. So it grows pretty fast, and We don't have any fruit trees around this one, but we definitely are gonna have to stay on top of it so he doesn't get any bigger. So over here, we've got a black sapote tree, and we have the pigeon peas that we planted right next to it to use as chop and drop. But right here, this stump, it was an albizia, and we cut it down as soon as we got back because it had grown really big and it was towering over the black sapote, probably blocking too much light. But yeah, this tree looks pretty nice. Nice and healthy. And right here, we have another little baby albizia that is growing next to our baby durian, which seems to be doing a lot better than it was earlier this year. The leaves were all looking like this but yellower, but now the new leaves are looking a lot better. So hopefully this little guy gets nice and big. So now I'm gonna walk to the back of the property, which is like the last acre. There's 3 acres, it's like the back acre that we haven't really touched much. And right there, these branches right there and right there, that was part of a giant albizia tree. Yeah, so you could see one of the trees, but there's probably like 5 of them there that are pretty big. Like the trunks are maybe like 2 feet in diameter, bigger, and they're pretty tall. So we got a tip from our friend Rain, who was growing stuff here in Hawaii too, and he said that in order to cut them when they're that big, or to get rid of them, is to girdle the bark about a foot in length, like girdle all the bark around the trunk, and that should kill the tree. And Michael did that back in the spring, and now we can see that pretty much all the leaves are gone off the tree, so it's dying. And that's gonna be a good way to get rid of it because it was way too big for anybody to go up there and like chop it down. So it seems to be working, and actually just like seeing there's a lot of branches that fell already from the dead tree. So we probably won't be walking back there because it might be dangerous. All right, I'm doing it. This is our hidden jungle. But I think you can see the tree here. This one right here. Before it was full of leaves and it was actually really, really beautiful. But now, you know, it's just a little bit of leaves left. And you could see right here, like one big branch fell. So right there's another branch. And they're probably gonna keep falling. Maybe after like a storm or something. Thankfully today is a sunny day. But yeah, we're gonna let those albizias die off, and we're probably not gonna touch that part of the property for a while now. Maybe like a couple years. I don't know actually. We still have a lot of work to do in the front acres. So Michael's busy chopping away the branches. Putting all the green parts in this pile, and then the woody parts here and over there. And then we're gonna distribute it to all the trees all around the orchard. There's probably enough for like all of them. Or not, maybe half of them.
Maybe 5.
No, there's so much.
Yeah, I guess so much left.
Yeah. But yeah, the cycle of life.
Watch this though, how it's like,
wow.
It's so brittle.
I think it's because you're on steroids. No, Michael's not on steroids. This tree is just very brittle. Whoa. Wow. Oh god, Michael, you're so strong. So albizias are definitely not a tree that you want to plant purposely because they're so invasive and crazy. But if they're on your property, they could be a blessing because you can use them for chop and drop, and they're nitrogen fixers, so they're great for the soil. So don't be too discouraged if you have Albizias on your property. Not that you probably live on Big Island. But thanks for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it and learned something. And comment and like, whatever, subscribe.